Okay, we're live. I hope everybody can hear us.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Monday, December 12th. This is the Dr. Simon's Metabolics and Weight Loss. Ask Me Anything Facebook Live. We're talking weight loss today. We're open, both locations, and we're giving away today, it's a holiday thing, special surprise, $50 gift card instead of $25 gift card. And we're going to let you choose between two places, Target and which is our traditional place, or the butcher's market. Yeah. And at the end, the winner will have a chance to choose which card they want. Mm-hmm. And anyway, this is the last show of the year, and the last one before Christmas. So.
And it's cool you get a choice, right? Target's everywhere, and you can get a lot of things there. But the butcher's market is a really special place in North Carolina. They have a bunch of locations, and you can get some excellent quality meat for the holidays or just for yourself, And we need you to do two things in order to be eligible for choosing that gift card, $50 gift card today. We need you to hashtag Simon's AMA in the comments section and like this video. So anyone who is currently watching, we will remind anyone who is about to join in a little while, do the same, but make sure you like the video, comment hashtag Simon's AMA. We already have Susie. Susie's always on it. Thank you so much and welcome, Susie.
She's an organized and timely person. Yes. She's usually the first one on and has the greatest chance of winning.
And there's Charlie. All right, we got a 50-50.
Yeah. Charlie might go for a butcher's market gift card. Charlie will eat some meat.
Yeah. A little ribeye or something. Yum,
That's
yum,
right.
Yum.
Yeah.
All right. The last show of the year. We got some great questions. So you ready to dive in?
I will say before we dive in, I mean, I'm not getting paid. I'm not a paid endorsee for any store, but I do kind of like a Publix grocery store. The service is very good. And there's something I get there that they fairly frequently sell that's really a good deal if you're in the low carb stuff. So they sell periodically the whole rib roast. That's the ribeye, right? And you carve your own. And this weekend they sold whole rib roast at $5.78 a pound. And so I felt a special obligation to go in and buy about 15 pounds of rib roast. And you can put it in your freezer,
Yeah,
So
we talked about that.
Anyway, I think that sale will probably be on for a few more days. And if you're into that sort of thing, and I can tell you their ribeyes are good too.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, it's good. So anyway, I cooked it on. I bought a Blackstone griddle, which is you can do the grill function plus the griddle, and so I cooked the steaks on there, and it was I sliced some and cooked some on there, and then I sliced the rest up and put it in freezer protective stuff and stuck it in the freezer. Anyway.
Did you cook it and then freeze it?
No.
You kept it raw?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm a fan of fleet. Yeah. I mean, I thaw it out. I let it come to room temperature. So that it's best to cook the steaks that way. And don't ever just take them out of the fridge and put them right on the grill. And so, it takes this for the keto fans out there. Okay. Ribeye is good because it has fat in there, and it doesn't have around the edges. It has intermuscular fat, the fat that's between the muscles, and that's really, really good. But actually, in the meat itself, it's marbled. Okay, that's intramuscular fat. Yeah, and if you can get your temperature of your meat to about 120 degrees, that kind of then seeps all into the.
That's all the flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a grilling show. We're gonna do a show just watching him grill in his Blackstone. Maybe.
That's it. Really, that's what makes it so tasty and everything. And Michelle and I don't teach people to stray from animal fat.
Exactly.
Right?
Put butter in the pan.
Exactly.
Eat the ribeye. Doesn't have to be the leanest cut.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And so anyway. I've kind of become a stickler of testing the temperature of the meat. This is the problem with doing just a medium rare or rare for me is I want that on the ribeye. I want that fat to go ahead and become liquid and get all in the meat. Right. So I get it up to about 135 degrees, which is kind of somewhere between a medium and medium well. And then it's ready to go for me. Anyway, so now if any of you want to try all this, you can go down to Publix and buy a rib roast and give it a shot on your grill. And anyway, thanks for joining.
Yeah, we have delicious sides too. So check out our Instagram and our website and our Tasty Keto Tuesday email. But today we are here with some great people live. I know Susie, Charlie, Yvette, Candace, all have entered into our special $50 holiday gift card. And our email might have sent 25, but we're doing a special thing today. And we're going to let you choose at the end of the show whether you would like it to be to Target or a local market with lots of delicious meat called the Butcher's Market here in North Carolina. So if you're still out watching and haven't commented yet, like these guys have, go ahead and do so. All right. Or we'll do a gift card to Publix.
Or to Publix. Yeah.
Now you have 3 options.
Yeah.
The producer said, why not? Right? We're talking
That's right.
up. We might as well. So now you got 3 options. Target, Publix, Butcher Market, but you got a hashtag Simon's AMA and like this video. All right, let's dive in because we got great questions.
Yep.
Trish from Cary, how safe are sugar substitutes and how much can I have in a day? We get questions about sugar substitutes all the time because we do teach generally a lower carbohydrate or ketogenic approach for the majority of our patients. And what's nice about sugar substitutes is they are calorie free and they are sugar free. So they save you on calories if you're doing more calorie counting, but they still give you that sweetness. A lot of people use it in their coffee or in their tea, or if they're sweetening their own yogurt or something like that. I usually put sugar substitutes in categories, right? There's real sugar, right? And that's kind of the category we really should be avoiding. And that can be brown sugar, that can be white sugar, that can be raw sugar, that can be cane sugar. They have a lot of fancy names.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Honey.
It's all sugar.
Yeah.
It's all sugar, right?
That's right.
Then you have your calorie-free natural sweeteners, and that's going to be things like stevia, erythritol, and those 2 together make up a very popular product called Truvia on the market. It's the green and white containers that you'll see. There's also monk fruit that is becoming a bit more popular as well.
Allulose.
Yep, allulose. Yeah. So the ones that we recommend the most are allulose, stevia, the monk fruit, and the erythritol.
That's right.
The differences are going to be that stevia has a little bit of an aftertaste, some products, and some people are a little more sensitive to that. The erythritol can have a little bit more of I call it a cotton candy feeling. There's also xylitol, and that can have a cooling effect in your mouth as well. So it's about trying different ones to find what you do best with. But if you jump right from real sugar, multiple cups a day of it, to stevia, it's going to be different. So you need to give yourself time to transition from one to another. So that's the natural sweeteners category. And the ones there that we have to be just a little worried about is if you use the erythritol or the xylitol in excess, they can upset your stomach a little bit because they're what we call sugar alcohols. And they can have a more of a loosening effect on the bowel, or can cause some cramping, but you have to eat a lot of it usually. Just a little bit in your coffee.
Yeah, now the cheapest form to make, and the one that probably I discourage patients from doing, is maltitol.
Mm-hmm.
And so maltitol's in a lot of things, and that one will upset your stomach a whole lot faster.
Yes, that's sugar. A lot of sugar-free candies
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of lower quality protein bars that are sugar-free or low sugar will have that in there. I think that's what's in the sugar-free gummy bears.
That's right.
Have you ever read the reviews on Amazon for sugar-free? They're pretty funny.
Is that right?
Yeah, if you're looking for a kick, all right, read the reviews on Amazon sugar-free gummy bears, because people are very honest about what happens when you eat too many sugar-free gummy bears.
That's correct. That's right, yeah. Sugar-free gummy bears are, I don't want to pick on a brand, but Russell Stover candies, at least years ago, used to do that. I don't know what they do now. And, before I was really into this movement, I remember trying them and then using the bathroom several times in one afternoon and thinking, what's going on here? That's how I first discovered maltitol.
And that's not how it works for weight loss, right? That's
right.
not the goal.
Yeah.
It's not to clean you out.
So
you don't want to eat so much.
We're just giving you a fair warning.
Yes.
Yeah. Read the label. Be careful about how much you use.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have our natural sweetener category, and then we have our category of what we call artificial sweeteners. These are also sugar-free. They've been around for a long time. Things like Splenda, things like Equal. If you read in the diet beverage, you'll see like aspartame, ACE-K, right? These are these lab-made sweeteners that are meant to taste sweet on our tongue, and they do. And a lot of them don't have as weird of an aftertaste. A lot of people do prefer them. So it's really just a matter of what you are comfortable with. There is a lot of conflicting research out there. You'll read one article that says, sugar really is best. It's the real thing. It's from, it's from nature. And then you'll read another article that says, sugar is terrible. You have to use Splenda, but wait, Splenda causes cancer. And then it just goes on and on and on.
Right.
Bottom line, sugar is the worst.
Yeah.
Nothing is worse than real sugar. We
Yeah.
know 100% with certainty that real sugar gets us in a lot of metabolic trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
So step 1, avoid that. Step 2, if you can tolerate the natural sweeteners, try that next.
Yeah.
And then if you cannot, if you're just not going to go with the stevia and it's either I'm going to drink sugar or I'm going to drink this Splenda, then go with the Splenda. Because although there is some conflicting research on whether that's really great, we know it's not as bad as sugar.
Yeah.
So that's what I usually recommend. Yep. Do you have any other?
Correct. No, I agree with that.
Okay.
Look, it's hard to, well, let me answer a question from Candace first. So Candace, honey is sugar. Okay. And yeah, I know it comes from the hive and all that sort of thing. It's sugar, and your body recognizes it as sugar. And so I'm not a fan of putting that in your smoothies.
Right.
Or for other things. Your body doesn't make the distinction.
Mm-hmm.
So
maple syrup would fall into that category
right.
too. Now, honey, I have seen, I do believe, has some medicinal properties. However, if you are doing a very low carb or a ketogenic diet, honey is not the sweetener you're going to choose. All right. Maybe if you're an athlete and you need a little bit of something before a long run, maybe a banana with a little bit of honey is something that you could get away with. But for the general person trying to lose weight and improve health, including a lot of honey or maple syrup, not something we're going to be recommending.
Correct.
Great question.
Yes, correct.
Yvette says, how does sugar alcohol impact blood sugar?
This is a good question. And look, for people who wear continuous glucose monitors, that's a device that inserts your skin with some small needles and can, in real time, second to second, tell you what your blood sugar, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you may see the ads on TV for Dexcon or for Freestyle Libre. Those are continuous glucose monitors. And some people who are on keto diets like to get these to find out what foods negatively affect their blood sugar and therefore insulin level. And so you'll find some hardcore keto types doing this, and they will tell you that although you're not supposed to absorb these sugar alcohols, in other words, they taste sweet but you don't absorb them, that some of those people will report that they get spikes in their blood sugar when they have the sugar alcohol. So I think there's some variation there in people. Mm-hmm. And so this could be you. So if things sweetened with sugar or alcohol keep you from losing weight, you have your answer. You're absorbing some of it.
Exactly. Or if it causes cravings, and that kind of circles back to the second part of Trish's question, how much can I have in a day? Yeah. That's also variable. Some individuals, they will not lose weight if they're consuming all of their beverages as artificially sweetened and tons of artificially sweetened bars and shakes and things like that. So you really have to base it on how you react, because some people can consume large quantities and they're fine. Other people a little bit and they stall out, or they find it kind of revs their cravings. Like they want more sweet and more sweet. And if you think about it, I mean, if the palate is constantly getting assaulted with a sweet taste, whether it's from sugar or not, you're kind of training your tongue to always want more sweet taste.
Correct. That's it.
So I like the idea of using just the amount that you need. Like if you need water to be flavored in order to hydrate well, that's fine. But maybe try to get away with a little bit of like a Crystal Light or a Propel sweetener in there, not necessarily the whole powder or the whole packet or whatnot. Yeah.
The other thing I'd say about that is that on those continuous glucose monitors, the other phenomenon that you sometimes see is that your sugar does not spike when you have the sugar alcohol, but then an hour later there is a precipitous drop. Okay, so in other words, you secrete some insulin in response to the sweet taste, but there's never a rise in the blood sugar, and then you really drop your blood sugar and you become dizzy and you don't feel good and you get very, very hungry and you end up eating more because your body. Point. Yeah, so this is another person who should probably avoid the sugar alcohols. Yeah. And so I get a little bit of that. And so I tend to really not drink many sugar substitute type beverages like diet sodas and whatnot. I generally don't do that, only on rare occasion. And this is part of the reason, or even chewing gum with the
sugar-free mint.
That's right. Yeah, that stuff makes me hungry about 30 to 45 minutes after I do it, and then I end up eating way more than I should. And so that's just a pattern I've noticed in myself. And so if you notice these patterns, I would avoid it. And then, and I know, and I get these comments, oh man, what do you expect me to do? You're taking away everything. Hey man, welcome to the world, okay? It's been around a few million years and people didn't have all this stuff until very recently. So don't act like, you're not, that you're so much more trouble than the rest of humankind. Yeah. Humankind did without these things prior to us showing up in the modern Western experiment. Okay.
It is amazing how many people's palates can't tolerate plain water. We would literally die without water. We're made of half water, many of us, and yet the idea of having to drink plain water is so difficult. And that's not to say that it's not hard for you. We get it. But if you decide that you're going to learn to be okay with drinking something that doesn't have a ton of sweetness, you will get there, right? You will. It's going to take time and support, but you will get there. So that's a really, really good point.
Okay, we probably should move on to the next question before the whole hour is gone.
Tina from Cary asks, where's the best place to start when attempting to lose weight?
Anywhere.
Yeah. Wherever you feel like your first step is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, so I always told people, because you would think that people wouldn't come pay me money and then say, I'm going to keep doing the same thing. But essentially, I get these folks that say, I'm not changing a thing, just make me lose weight. Yeah. And I'm like, no, if you can't get a different result doing the same thing,
definition
right?
Of insanity.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to change something. So the answer to your question, Tina, is you just got to start changing. Yeah. And it's fine if you can't change a whole bunch of things at once. Fine, just pick one thing. Right? Okay, the finish line's the grave, as I always say. If you can start changing now and change a little bit at a time, it still works. Yeah. So you just the idea that you're asking this question is good. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, anything. Yeah. And then, of course, if you're not a patient here and you want to get a little more serious about it, we'd love to see you. Mm-hmm. And we can look over, your medical history and ask you some questions and that pertaining to that, and then go over any medications you're on, things like that. What we call a metabolic assessment, and this will really kind of help us know what kind of diet to talk with you about, maybe any kind of medication that would help.
Yeah, and we do make it individualized because everyone has a different first step for the most part, and a different second step, and maybe a different third step, and that's okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think we have a question from Candace. As converted water drinker, just do it, and within 2 weeks you will crave water. Candace, I think you're right. We have people say that all the time. They say, I couldn't even imagine myself doing this. They say it about salads, say it about water, and now I really want it. Yeah, the palate is definitely
is right on the
flexible. Yeah, you just have to give it time. Thank you, Candace. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. Remember, comment #SimonsAMA, like this video to be eligible to win a special $50 gift card where you're choosing between getting it from Target, Publix, or the Butcher's Market.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, they want Alex here from Raleigh wants to know what we eat in a day and how should I go about planning my meals. Okay, well, I just told you I bought a bunch of ribeyes from I bought them from Publix at $5.79 a pound, sliced them myself, cooked them on a Blackstone griddle, and put them in Tupperwares. Okay, while I was there, I also bought a couple bags of cauliflower that was riced. Mm-hmm. It's riced. I bought some fresh mushrooms with that, and some onions, and some fresh jalapeno peppers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, break the steaks out of the Tupperware when I get home tonight. One, I cut them in half, so half one for me, half one for my wife. And then in a pan, I'm just going to warm up some butter and olive oil in a pan, and I'm going to cook those other vegetables up in there and douse them with a little basil pesto seasoning and some Parmesan cheese. And that's going to be the side. And there it is. And so I was thinking about this over the weekend, and if I wouldn't have gone to the store and got the stuff and done this, then guess what? I might get really hungry and say, you know what? These pizza places will bring you two for the price of one right to your door. That sounds easy, right? And that's how you get in trouble, right? So you got to have a battle plan. That's the first thing. So I always try to pair proteins, fats, and vegetables. That's the way to do it, right? And so when I shop this way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do the same thing. To give you an example, so today I'm going to have plain Greek yogurt with a stevia sweetened sugar-free vanilla protein powder mixed in. That's usually my breakfast. It's very quick. It's very easy. And then for lunch, today is going to be easy. It's going to be cottage cheese. I'm just going to eat cottage cheese for lunch. It's easy. Yeah. And then for dinners, last night we prepared a carb-free lasagna. And it is a layer of meat sauce with veggies, peppers, onions, lots of fresh herbs, and then ricotta cheese with egg and cottage cheese and lots of oregano and seasoning and salt. And then my noodles are slices of turkey, deli meat.
Yeah.
And then I just layered it up, put mozzarella, put it in the oven. I'm going to eat that with salad tonight. It's going to be delicious. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually I said what I was going to have for dinner. For breakfast, I had a meal from Elite Prep Meals. And so I didn't eat all mine from last week. And so it was a sriracha lime chicken with cauliflower rice and broccoli. And I warmed it up for a minute in the microwave, then brought it out and I diced up the broccoli a little bit so it was in finer pieces, mixed it with the cauliflower rice, and then put some olive oil and basil pesto seasoning on that. Rewarmed it for another minute and then hit that with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I like the vegetables that way. I use several different seasonings, but I'm kind of stuck on that one right now. You know, I just kind of really like
that. Sounds like a really
and that was my breakfast.
I do that too. I eat a lot of dinner, like dinner meals for breakfast, and breakfast we do a lot of eggs for dinner. That's one thing, Alex asked, how should I go about planning? One is take the construct off what you think a meal needs to be or should be. That will really open a lot of opportunities. The next thing is you've got to get a pen and paper or like an app going where you are listing meals that you have enjoyed eating. Like, do you like tuna salad? Do you like chicken salad? Do you like the idea of low carb lasagna? Do you like the idea of eating eggs in lots of different ways? Egg muffins, fried eggs. Get some lists going so that when you start brainstorming for planning a meal, you have a resource to go to and say, oh, that's right. I haven't had chicken thighs and cauliflower rice, basil pesto in a while, or I haven't had, steak enchilada boats and zucchini. You got to have those things. You can't expect yourself to just come off the top of your head every week with brand new ideas. That's also why resources like our Instagram page and our website and other low carb websites are so helpful. You got to seek out ideas and then list the ones that you like and keep recycling through them, right? I eat a lot of the same stuff over and over. Candace, can you send the lasagna recipe? I can try. I made it up. Every time I do it a little different. I'm not a good recipe follower. I'm going to be totally honest. I kind of just throw a bunch of stuff in. Looks good. I put it together.
Right.
But I can send it to the producer so we can get it in an email, Candace.
Okay. Chris from Apex. When do I know it's time to stop losing weight and move to maintenance? What's the difference between those stages, Chris? You'll know when it's the right time.
Your body usually tells you.
It'll tell you. You'll see it in the mirror when you're in your underwear. When you take that in your mind with all the experience of losing the weight now, and how that's going and all, you'll know.
And sometimes too, you kind of hit a fork in the road where you may have an idea that the weight on the scale should be a certain thing and you're not quite there, but also the level of restriction that you have already gotten to be the weight that you are would have to be so much more that you wouldn't really be able to enjoy your life or to be able to sustain it long term. So sometimes it's when you get there, right? Maybe you're at a great place. It's not where you thought you were going to be, but it's a sustainable place. And from a, what's the difference between these two stages standpoint? Not a whole lot. And people are very surprised when we tell them that. It is not a totally different phase. It is, all right, well, now you're just going to keep doing everything you've been doing, except you want to see the scale stay the same and not go up instead of see the scale go down.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, look, there's no turning back. It's just a long-term decision you make when you embrace it. It's not like you're going to do this, lose weight, and then, I'm going to go, I'm going to go to the donut shop every morning for breakfast and to the bakery for dinner every day. That's going to be my weight maintenance. No, that's not how that works. Yeah.
You don't go back to doing the things to put the weight on. You keep doing the things.
You're returning to a style of eating that was common to human beings from the beginning of the planet until now. Okay. And so you're just really kind of going more to the historical norm as a diet. A lot of these Western things that have come into our diet, those are fads.
Yeah.
Those are historical fads. And
eating plants and animals is really the natural human diet. There are variations within, but once we can accept that, it's a lot easier to understand what maintenance looks like. And it's not I can't wait till I can go back to doing this, that, and the other. It's thank God I've learned to make this my lifestyle. I'm gonna wake up every day and make the decision to continue to make it my lifestyle.
That's right. Yeah.
We use some medication too, which is also a long-term thing for most everyone. And that doesn't mean you're weak, and it doesn't mean you can't do it without it. It means you don't have to.
Yeah, that's right. There's help available, and if you want it, we're going to help you with it.
Absolutely.
And we won't pressure you about it. So let's go on to Jenna from Raleigh. She says, I've read that I should have a plan for failure. What does that mean? That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, how do I plan to fail, and is it really important? Well, you shouldn't plan to fail. Okay,
Right.
That's I'll just say that. That's
It's more of a plan to get back on track when life knocks you off.
Jenna, I know this may surprise you, but we are all suffering from a condition called being a human.
And making mistakes.
Exactly. Okay, and so rather than pretending that you're perfect, it's easier to acknowledge the fact that you're not. And that means, when Michelle and I see patients who get off track, it's like they realize they're off. In other words, they make some mistakes. This is a time of year, this is very common with the holiday stuff and all of the, ridiculous consumption nonsense that takes place from all the way from Halloween till the end of the year, frankly. Overindulging, doing all of this stuff, and you do it in a festive spirit, and you end up getting caught up in it, and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm all jacked up here. And you tend to wallow in that failure. Like, I don't want to face it. I don't want to go tell Michelle or Wickham I screwed it up or whatever,
I want to lose the weight first,
exactly.
And then I'll go back.
Right.
All the time
Yeah. So all that's prolonging the misery, right? Michelle and I don't care. We're here to help you. We realize you're human. We're human. You think we never make mistakes? Of course we do. The mark of getting better is that you start responding faster to that and getting back on track. And that's why having a plan matters.
Yes.
So just say, look, I realize I may fail. And this is what I'm going to do when I realize it. Okay. I'm going to start weighing every day first thing in the morning. I'm going to start going back to the grocery store, planning my meals, buying the stuff. I'm going to go over to Wickham and Michelle, and I'm going to go way back in. And I need some medicine, obviously, to keep me on track. And I'm going to talk to them about that, and they're going to match me up with what I need. This is kind of like a plan that works, you see. Everyone can write down their own plan, but the bottom line is that you should plan to have failures and mess ups. And when you do, here's how you're going to respond. That's the mark of getting better.
Give yourself some grace, because everyone goes through this. Nobody tries to lose weight once.
Right.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. That is correct. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. That's right. Yeah.
Decision.
Yeah.
Multiple decisions.
That is correct. Finish line is the grave. You'll be doing that all the way to the end. Yeah.
But we'll be here to help.
That's right. Exactly.
All right. Last question. Janet from Durham. Can you lose weight and build muscle at the same time? What is the best way to do this? Bodybuilders are very good at this. I'll be honest. During weight loss, the best thing is to just retain the muscle mass that you have, because to be both burning and building at the same time is extremely difficult.
Yes.
Extremely difficult, right? There's a reason that bodybuilders calculate all of their meals. They weigh everything. They eat constantly. Sometimes they wake up during the night and eat. Their full-time job is just to retain and build muscle while cutting fat. In our practice, our main goal is to retain muscle and lose fat. And then once you're at your maintenance phase, that's where usually the muscle building begins. Would you agree?
Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. And look, it's okay to lose some lean mass look, if I weighed 400 pounds, okay, I need to lose, 180 or 200 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
A guy of my height. So it's impossible to just lose a straight 180 pounds of fat, because there has to be some lean tissue that supports that fat. So you're going to lose some lean mass.
Your legs have to be stronger when
right,
you're 400 pounds versus when you're 200 pounds.
But a lot of that lean mass is not muscle. It's things that aren't muscle, connective tissue and so on and so forth. And so you make a good point. Maintaining the muscle mass, or a good portion of it, is a good thing. Mm-hmm. And you want to work that. You want it to be strong, because it's not just about weighing less, it's being more agile and more mobile and better fit. Yeah, all that stuff, right? And so anyway, what you don't want to do, the thing you don't want to do is just eat a high carb diet because in that case, you will lose a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah.
Have high carb diets that cause you to lose weight. Well, you'll notice you get very saggy results. Let me put it to you that way. That's the way to think about it.
Yep.
That's the main mistake.
Eating your protein, 30 grams a meal, and doing some
right.
kind of strength as well, resistance training as well as walking. That's really going to be your
and elite prep meals will help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, elite prep meals, man.
They have the 30 grams in there.
Exactly.
They are yummy.
And they're good, and you can eat them a couple times a day, and that really helps.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us, and for everybody who entered for the gift card. Congratulations to Susie. You're our $50 gift card winner, our special holiday amount. Please comment on if you'd like a Target, Publix, or Butcher's box card here, Susie, so we know which one to send you, and we will contact you as well.
That's right. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everybody.
This is our last episode. We'll see you next year.
In the new year.